Boom. Hello and good morning. Welcome back to LeEdFollow. And today we are doing another track day. This one's going to be slightly different though, because it's not actually a proper track. So we're heading to Abingdon Airfield, which is actually really local to us all. I don't know why we all haven't done it yet. We've been doing track days for a long time, so anyway. So it's just part of an MOD base, and there are actually full-time MOD service people on site. So essentially the track day organiser, they hire out a section of the main runway and like the bit that's furthest away from the barracks. And one of the plus points is that this is incredibly cheap for a track day. It's one of the cheapest track days I've probably ever done. But it's really convenient because, of course, the MR2 didn't go to Brands Hatch, took the GT86 instead. So really need to get the MR2 out on track and see how it performs. It should perform brilliantly because everything is new, upgraded, grippier, stoppier, goier, you know, win-win. So the weather being Britain in April is typically grey and wet. I'm really looking forward to the summer rolling around. We're going to get much better, more enjoyable track days. But still, the weather being crap doesn't mean that we shouldn't get out and still do them. It just means that they're a bit less fun. When you're standing around chatting, you need an umbrella a lot of the time, which I did remember to bring one this time. So, unlike Brands Hatch where it got very wet, should be okay this time round. So, once again, it's wet. So, we've arrived. As you can see, GR86, MR2, and a 1 Series. We're waiting for our sighting laps. We're in the second lot, so sitting around waiting for our call, really. So, we've done our sighting laps, and we've just fixed Ryan's 1 Series because it was black flagged for spitting out diesel everywhere. So after washing my hands very thoroughly, we're finally able to go out and do some hot laps. Unusually, at the end of the sighting laps, they did let us stay out and play for a few minutes longer, just to put the foot down a little bit. And you know what, I'm really happy with the way that the MR2 hangs on in there. It's really quite impressive. So anyway, ready to rock. Oh dear, it's very wet. It's very, very wet. So, tyres are cold, brakes are cold, track is slippery. Oh God. This is not fun. Not great conditions to be running semi-slicks, to be fair, in a mid-engine car that is known to like to kick out the back end. Right, well, I'll let the MX5 past. Everything passed. Manuals. Ha! Now, in all honesty, I can understand why people like manual cars. That control, that interaction. Me personally, I'd like a good paddle shift auto. Right, let's try to keep up with Paul. He is on very slidey tyres and I'm on very grippy tyres, so hopefully that will make a difference.
So after trying to keep up with GR86 and failing miserably, the sessions became progressively more black flagged as the rain came down harder and more people started to spin out. So later that day, as the rain eased off, Paul set up his dash cam and followed me out to try to set down a fast lap.
More lap after this thing. So that was a long day. Really quite shattered now, but at least you can see the weather did brighten up. Sod's law, it brightens up after we've left though. So yeah, the track was pretty good. That was the first time that I've been there to Abingdon Airfield, and it was quite a lot of fun. It was a decent layout. Of course, it was all cones, so you can make that layout pretty much everywhere. But yeah, it was really good fun. It was really good to throw the MR2 around and really get a feel for what it's capable of. But yeah, following the track day, I'm really happy with the MR2, and surprisingly, I'm really happy with the 1ZZ. I mean, that engine just seems to make sense in this car. I totally understand why Toyota didn't put the 2ZZ in it from factory. Not saying that it couldn't do with the extra power of the 2ZZ. I mean, it does make me think just how much of an absolute weapon this car would be with an extra like 50, 60 horsepower. But at the same time, I've got to think whether it's worth it, because they're starting to dwindle, the MR2s, and a nice example like this, it just becomes a little bit sacrilegious if you're going to tear it up to pieces and essentially ruin it for the future. But we'll wait and see. Nothing's set in stone. I might decide to plough on with it, or I might decide to trade the car in. I do have my eye on something a little bit V80, so we'll wait and see how that pans out. But yeah, even though the track isn't that pretty, and there's not really much to do there when you're not in your car, you know, there's no complex, there's no restaurant, there's no proper loos, it's basically a burger van and a couple of portaloos. If you're there just for testing purposes, you know, if you've done some mods to your car and you just want to kind of see how the mods are working before you take it on like a proper track day, like take it to the Nürburgring or something, great. It's a nice local track, lots of runoff, pretty safe place to go and test your car out. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Check out Abingdon if you're local and you fancy a cheap track day. And we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.